And you never like to see players get too focused on the referee. You may wind up winning and getting a call, but ultimately it takes your focus away from the task at hand, which is playing high-level racquetball.
Cliff now serving 3, serves 2. Jack holds his racket up, which he's allowed to do, to stop play.
Great shot there by Jack. We talked a lot about it. If Cliff is able to get that Z serve into the third wall, it's going to be a very, very defensive opportunity for Jack. But there, Jack was able to step over, cut it off, and penetrate Cliff with a very, very effective cross-court passing shot.
Jack trying to tie it up here as he trails just by 1 point. And he does. Ties it up, but Cliff not happy about it. A lot of...
whatever. Jesus.
It's all tied up here. Jack Huczak serving to Cliff Swain. 3 serves 3. Bad mistake by Cliff Swain.
Really nice adjustment here by Jack. Really, things were looking bad. He had gone from 4-1 down to losing 11-4 in the third. Cliff jumped off to a 3-0 lead, so Cliff had scored 13 straight points. Jack mixes up his serve, which is not his comfort zone, and has pulled his way back into this match.
It's a good shot.
Boy, this is really just a great turnaround. This is, you know, where Jack has really improved as a player. He's only in the last couple of years developed a drive serve at all, and if he was not, things were not going well with it, he almost always abandoned it. Here you see him going to that drive serve, sticking with it, and turning around this game at a critical time. Good jam serve.
It's a good shot. A good time here. Cliff certainly didn't want to let Jack score another point to put him up 6-3.
Serving 5.
Now Cliff serving 3, serves 5 to Jack Huczak.
Really been a game of momentum swings, as is often the case.
I just want you to say it.
I can't hear what you're saying.
I just want you to say the word foot fault. Can you say it for me?
Can't do it.
You can't do it? Okay. It's
Jack
really
being
making me feel
sarcastic,
bad.
asking Jason, the referee, to say the words foot fault.
And this is another one of those rules. They either need to call it or get it out of the rule book. Cliff does foot fault a lot. I haven't been paying attention to see if he does it this match, but if you're not going to call it, you need to get rid of the rule. Great shot there. So what Jack is doing there, he's just trying to get in the referee's head, getting him thinking about watching that foot fault, and probably as importantly, maybe getting Cliff's head a little bit, get Cliff thinking that he can't stretch out quite as much as he'd like to on that serve, because he might get called for a foot fault. Foot fault should not be the ref's call. There should be somebody sitting there on the foot fault line with a buzzer, and if it's a foot fault, he just blows the foot fault buzzer. Similarly, there should be linesmen to overrule bad calls. We impose. You know, it's a terrible combination because racquetball is probably the single most difficult sport to ref, and we put one guy in the back of the court and ask him to call everything.
That's a lot of responsibility for one guy.
A lot of responsibility, and unfortunately, every now and then the ref winds up taking a little bigger role in a match than you want him to.
Listen to the crowd.
3, serving 5.
Once again, you identified, Sean. For some reason, Jack really takes on the role of the villain at this tournament. I think because Derek is a popular figure, and he had that very intense and tightly contested match with a lot of bad blood a couple of weeks ago against Derek. I think they're holding that against Jack, that he kind of went after their chosen son.
See, and just as much as they love Derek Robinson, they love Cliff Swain here.
Yeah, and
if not more. Cliff Swain is a champion here. He's a champion in the sport. He's an icon of racquetball. So for anybody to go against Cliff.
And I think there's enormous respect for what Cliff is doing. Coming back here at age 38, And, you know, Cliff was here at the first U.S. Open 9 years ago, and he's here 9 years later playing just as hard, just as well.
5, serving 4.
That's a rare error there by Cliff. Went for the right shot, just really missed it badly. That was odd. Cliff cut it off, didn't hit a great shot. His down the line caught the side wall. It almost looks like Jack lost that ball on the side wall and wound up skipping it very badly.
Cliff looking to tie it up here in game 4. It's 4 serves 5.
Great serve by Cliff. Back wall set up.
Skip ball.
Skip ball, but very close. That's a tough call to make, but
yeah, but
it is the
right call. And, you know, for those amateurs watching at home, you can watch Cliff's footwork on that shot, and it's just
5,
textbook. Jack hit a ball that went front wall ceiling, was coming off the back wall. Cliff quickly moved his feet, got his racket back, happened to skip it, but just fundamentally sound racquetball Cliff is playing.
As we spoke about foot faults there, Jack Huczak going all the way over the line. That's why this crowd is yelling foot fault.
5.
Yeah, and once again, I don't know why Jack even got into that. He's not going to call the foot fault, turn the crowd against him, which, you know, is never a good thing. It's probably not the worst thing.
Point.
The crowd loves it here as Cliff ties it up with an ace serve. We're going to take a little break here, Aaron, but exciting racquetball so far. We're back. It's all tied up here. 5 serving 5. Cliff Swain playing great racquetball. Jack Huczak certainly not getting the crowd behind him. He's the villain, as we've said. And Cliff Swain couldn't get any more support if he was playing in his hometown. This crowd, they just love him here. Lines up. It's 5 serves 5. Cliff Swain. That's a good
Great shot there. Very good cutoff by Jack. It is so critical on that Z serve that he step over and get that serve before it gets into the side wall. And what allows him to do that is if Cliff doesn't set up that serve enough with the drive behind him to keep Jack honest. Great serve. Set up for Jack.
Skip ball on a setup.
Yeah, it's a bad mistake for Jack to make.
Can't get away with too many errors and expect to win this match.
No, particularly now. This is getting down to nut-cutting time. Every error is really magnified and energizes the other player.
Let's see what Cliff does with that opportunity.
That is an unbelievable shot. Just unbelievable. Because Cliff hit a great serve. We've talked about cutting off that Z serve before the third wall. Jack was unable to do it, and in very tight quarters there, Jack was able to step back and just bury that pinch in the corner. Phenomenal shot. Set up off the back.
Point.
Not a good shot. Hit himself.
That's about the first cutoff we've seen. I think he skipped the last one of the second game to give Jack the second game. And other than that, I don't remember Cliff missing any cutoffs.
I don't either, Aaron, but Jack has an opportunity here to run with this. Takes a 6-5 lead here.
Every point is just critical at this point. Good serve by Jack.
Hold it.
Get that ball. Get that.
I call the replay then.
Oh, good call. Good call.
That's a bad call.
Good call.
That is a bad call. And even Jack knows that's a bad call.
Jack was walking to the back of the court knowing that he didn't have a chance there.
Yeah.
Do you guys now remember that 3-wall serve?
6 serving 5.
You're sitting there looking like you know you made a mistake.
He's made a lot of mistakes.
Aren't you?
6 serving 5.
Tough call. You know, once again, Sean, I don't want to get on my soapbox here about linesmen, but it was a blatantly missed call, which is going to happen. I don't fault the referee. It's a very fast-paced game, very difficult to ref. Cliff should have the opportunity now to appeal to see if neutral arbiters would agree with that call.
He does not have that opportunity, unfortunately.
A little bit of a sloppy rally.
Incredible. See, and then because of that bad call, Jack capitalizes and now takes a bigger lead.
7, serving 5.
And here's Jack serving at 7-5 rather than Cliff in the box at 5-6. You know, every point is so critical, and the errors we've talked about are magnified at this point. A bad call like that really can change the momentum of a match.
Jack off
Great
to a
angle.
3-point lead now.
And Cliff really needs to settle down and regroup. He rushed that shot, really muscled that forehand, gave Jack a setup, charged forward, and Jack ripped a great angle by him. Cliff really needs to get his emotions under control and put that bad call behind him.
Every point that is scored by Jack, you know, in the head of Cliff Swain.
Great serve coming off the back wall. Great save coming off the back wall.
I bet you Cliff will still look at that referee.
Yeah, and you know,
blaming these points. See
what one bad call does?
See what one bad call does.
He's clearly thinking about it.
Too. And you knew it. And you still know it. It's like you didn't want to get yelled at because you were going to change your call. Not even close.
Well, Cliff is talking to the referee here. We're going to take a little break, see what happens here when we return.
Know I'm right.
The 2004 Choice Hotels U.S. Open Racquetball Championships. We're back here. Exciting match. Cliff not happy about a pretty brutal call.
Yeah, he got a bad call, and I don't know that it's affected his play. Jack has just hit some shots. It may have affected him a little bit on a couple.
Good shot.
And there he gets it back. That's an incredible shot because Jack hit that serve right about where he wanted it. Great cross-court drive serve to Cliff's forehand.
Let's see if Cliff can clear this referee stuff out of his head.
You know, even though the crowd clearly favors Cliff, I got to believe they'd like to see a fifth game.
Ball hit me. The ball hit me.
I didn't see it.
Okay, the ball's wet. Do you want to see that?
If I didn't see it going in, I can't call it. Side out.
And that's a good call by the ref. That is a very good call by the ref. What happened there, Cliff tried to say that Jack's shot hit him going in, and the referee made the absolute right call. I didn't see it hit you. Cliff wanted to show him the wet spot, and the referee said, if I didn't see it, I can't call it, because Cliff could have easily wiped the ball on his body, done anything to pick up that wet spot. What a shot by Cliff.
That's great patience by Cliff Swain as he lets the ball drop into his strike zone and smashes that down the right side wall.
Kind of a missed opportunity there by Jack. Cliff really rushed a couple of shots at that point. Jack had a setup. I think he was a little defensive with that backhand by the left wall rather than ripping it cross court. I would have rather seen him go for a kill shot or a pinch.
Here's Cliff Swain serving.
Nope, that's short. Side out.
You know,
Cliff not happy.
Yeah, Cliff really needs to shake it off. He's still John with the ref, still into it over that bad call. And there's been some bad calls this game, but you just got to shake it off as a player.
The match is comprised of 5 games. Cliff leading the series 2-1. This being game 4. If Jack were to win this, he would go to a tiebreaker.
Nope, that's 2.
Great shots there by Jack. And that's the kind of game where Jack really wants to play. Get a good serve and then keep Cliff on the dive, because while Cliff is a great defensive player, he's much less dangerous on the dive than he is when he's standing up.
Jack Huczak finds himself with the lead here in game 4.
Once again, a dramatic turnaround like we saw in game 3, except the opposite. Cliff got off to a 3-0 start. Everything looked like it was cooking. If you remember, Jack stopped on that serve where he wanted a screen. Everything looked like it was going against him, and here he is serving for the game at 10-5.
Cliff does not want to let it happen. It's a good shot.
That's an incredible shot.
Well, that's a splat that we talked about.
That's that splat where he drove it deep into the side wall, and that spin just made it die on the front wall. Probably falls into the not for you to attempt at home category. A splat from shoulder height.
Score.
5-10.
Cliff with a quick serve, asked what the score was, gave him the score, and then he tried to sneak in a quick little serve to try to take Jack Huczak off his feet there.
A very veteran play there. He had a great shot. Jack jammed him with the next shot, and Cliff just showed how delicate his hands are.
Now 6-10, Cliff Swain.
Here he's going to the serve where he's either been jamming Jack or driving it into the right corner. Whoa, bad shot.
Even worse shot.
Boy, that was
Cliff Swain.
Yeah, very odd choice there. Jack hit a very, very bad return. Cliff had a setup and didn't do much with it. I think he may have been surprised that Jack didn't do more with his.
Jack Huczak with another opportunity to take game 4 here.
And he wants to get out of this game. He knows that once things get to 7 or 8, closing it out gets tougher and tougher. Good serve, forces flick, setup. Ooh, missed the flick.
Hold it, replay.
Oh, wow.
No, there I don't know what Cliff is complaining about that time. That's a good example how that last call is still in his head, because that was a clear hinder. Cliff missed his shot. If anything, if Jack had his racket back a little sooner, he may have been able to get an avoidable, because Cliff missed his shot so bad.
With this and this.
He missed that front wall, sidewall shot very badly. Jack was right there, was clearly screened. So I'm not sure what Cliff's beef is here. Once again, I think it's cathartic for the players to vent a little bit at the ref.
(10-6), Jack Huczak.
Z serve. Good flicks, ceiling ball.
Cliff punishes that backhand and takes away another opportunity. He does not want to see Jack take this game.
No, he's going to make Jack work, and Cliff really subscribes to the theory that as you get to the end of the game, you got to make every point count that much more. And he knows that anything can happen with his serve and his intensity. He can run 3-4 points very quickly.
And foot fault.
I don't know what.
10.
Jack talking about the foot fault still.
Cliff goes to cut it off, but ends game 4 just like he did game 2, skipping a cutoff lob serve.
We're going to a tiebreaker here. Cliff Swain and Jack Huczak going to game 5 when we get back. We're back here. A tiebreaker, game 5. Both players have 2 games apiece. Cliff Swain serving. 0 serve 0.
Not surprising, Cliff starts off with his drive serve. Back wall setup.
It's a bad miss.
Yeah, kind of a sloppy first rally. Both players had a lot of opportunities, knocked them off the back wall. I think they're so pumped up. I don't think they're tired. I think both are very fit. Both are very, very pumped up, and they may have overswung a little bit on some of those shots.
This is a matter of youth versus experience. Cliff Swain being a legend, and obviously in situations like this his entire career. And Jack Huczak.
Yeah, and Jack, although at the tender age of 22, has a phenomenal amount of experience. He's won every amateur and international event that there is.
Point.
So I think it's just going to come down to who's going to play a little bit mentally tougher, who's going to stick with it for the whole tiebreaker. I think both of them are very fit. Both of them have plenty of experience to deal with the pressure. And it's just going to come down to who's willing to grind it out a little bit, who wants it a little worse. It's a good shot there by Cliff.
Nice shot. by Cliff Swain on the run. Buries that one.
Kind of a
missed
opportunity there by Jack. I think he got a little bit defensive. He had a setup with that forehand. When Cliff hit that around the wall ball, he really had a setup off the back wall over here and played a very defensive cross-court pass. And that goes back to what we talked a little bit about earlier. Cliff is doing a much better job from a court positioning standpoint than he used to, hanging back, not letting Jack beat him with passing shots. Another setup off the back wall.
Skip ball. Cliff off to a 3-0 lead now.
And there you see the pressure that's Cliff putting on Jack. He's hanging back, not letting Jack beat him with a passing shot, forcing Jack to pinch. And when you go to pinch from the back of the court, you risk skipping the ball like Jack did there.
Oh, that's short. Side out.
Cliff Swain surprisingly hitting more short serves than I've ever seen.
Zero.
If Cliff, there was a way that some of the players used to get to Cliff is they used to pass him a lot and exploit the fact that he was playing so far forward, whereas he's really improved. He's playing a step further back and really holding his position a little bit longer. Good serve by Jack, but Cliff just has a ton of energy. He's in such good shape. I mean, he stepped over and absolutely took a full swing at that drive serve. It's a little discouraging when you hit the drive serve as hard as you can down the line and your opponent just steps up and rips it back at you. Fortunately for Jack, he skipped it.
And it goes out, unfortunately. We're going to take a little break here. Jack on the board here, serving 2 serves 3. We're back here. Jack Huczak serving 2 serves 3.
Now, Sean, if you continue to demonstrate your bias for Cliff, I may have to go ask you to sit in the bleachers in the Cliff fan club over there.
Don't make me start screaming and yelling like a little girl at a Justin Timberlake concert here. I just want to see Cliff do this. He's a legend. Admire the man. I want to see it happen.
And Jack has just pulled in 3-3. Match continues to be a match of very intense momentum swings. Cliff started off with a 3-0 lead here relatively quickly. Really looked like he was on top of the world. Hit that short serve. Jack got back in the box, and now it's at 3-3. Continues to just be a tightly contested match, which can go either way, depending on a bad call, momentum swing, anything. Good serve by Jack. Forces Cliff to go to the ceiling.
Unbelievable shot in the left corner.
And what set that up was a great ceiling ball by Cliff. Jack hit a great crack serve. Cliff went over and hit just a very delicate sailing ball that barely came off the back wall. Jack had to change his mind and hit a very defensive shot. And Cliff, as you pointed out, hit that great pinch in the left corner.
All tied up here, 3 serves 3.
That is unbelievable.
Unreal.
That is an unbelievable shot because Cliff hit a good serve, actually got behind Jack a little bit, and that caused Cliff to start leaning forward because he didn't think Jack can do anything with it but jam it into the sidewall, and Jack showed tremendous wrist strength by flicking it cross court. Phenomenal shot right there.
Jack Huczak lines up, all tied up here, 3 serves 3. Great shot by Cliff Swain.
Great shot. That is textbook racquetball. Jack hit an okay drive serve, nothing great. Cliff just stepped over, got his racket back, perfect down the line, didn't try and make it too perfect. Plenty of height, a lot of margin of error, textbook racquetball.
Cliff lines up for another drive serve. Goes to the backhand of Jack. Another
unbelievable
cross court from Jack Huczak.
I mean, that's a great serve Cliff hit. He hit a Z serve. Jack wasn't able to cut it off. The ball was very deep in the court, and Jack just flicked a perfect cross-court passing shot. Level of play has really sustained itself throughout the match here. It's just been a great match. Set up off the back wall, and a great shot.
Good focus by Jack Huczak.
And Sean, unlike you, I'm just rooting for great racquetball.
4. Serving
I don't want to see great racquetball. I want to see a blowout here.
Oh, my gosh. That is an unbelievable shot. Jack really stepped up his level of play here after being down 3-0. Hit a great drive serve. Cliff stepped over, ripped it, high into the glass wall, and Jack just picked it off in the air and buried a pin shot. Just phenomenal. Jack has hit some spectacular shots here these last 3 or 4 points. We'll see if Cliff can shake it off, because these have been the kind of shots that are a little dispiriting.
5 unanswered points here for Jack Huczak. Cliff Swain lines up. That's a terrible shot.
Wow, but a great serve. Cliff forced it a little bit, and Jack just buried the pinch. Jack looks very, very focused right now, scoring 6 straight points, and is serving well, mixing up his serves, and most importantly, what he has not done throughout the match as well as he's doing now is when he gets his shot, he's killing the ball.
When does Cliff take a timeout? After Jack.
Great get.
Unbelievable. Great get by Jack Huczak.
And a great shot by Cliff. I mean, Jack totally stretched out, got the ball kind of high on Cliff, and Cliff just from about chest height buried it in that right corner.
Cliff doesn't take a timeout, doesn't feel like he needs it. He's ready to line up and play some racquetball.
Unbelievable get.
Unreal rally.
Get. Set up off the back wall.
Unbelievable. Unreal.
That is unbelievable. That is unbelievable racquetball, Sean. Incredible
I've got to
rally.
say, that's one of the best rallies I've seen.
That is unbelievable. Both players just letting it all hang out.
6, serving 3.
And 6 serves 3 here in the tiebreaker.
Just looks so focused. He won an incredible rally like that and showed no emotion. Just totally stoic, very focused on the task at hand.
Wow. Just great get after, shot after shot, get after
Great
get.
shot. I mean, Cliff hit a great return. Jack made an unbelievable get, and Cliff had to kill the next shot.
That return by Cliff Swain was exceptional, and the get by Jack truly was remarkable. I couldn't believe it.
Incredible racquetball going on here. Great get again. Set up off the back wall. Great call. Great, absolute right call.
2 bounces right there.
Oh, see, Cliff knows it was a skip. He's not even arguing the skip because he knows he skipped. He's actually arguing the return to serve. And once again, I think Cliff is upset with himself. He missed the setup, and I think he's angry because I think Jack got that ball cleanly. He didn't do much with it. He set Cliff up, and then Cliff skipped the setup.
6-3, Jack Huczak serving.
I think we're going to see a hard Z serve here. Back wall setup.
That's a good shot. Look at Cliff yelling at Jason.
Yeah, and then Cliff got a little bit of break back here in the corner, got pinned against the wall, and Jack still hit a decent shot, and Cliff hit a tremendous re-kill up front, which didn't look like that tough a shot, but that glass is awfully dark up there. Tough to see the ball. And Cliff hanging in there, hasn't let Jack pull away from that 6-3 lead. Good flick. Jack comes back underneath it.
Great shot by Cliff Swain. A high level of racquetball. We'll be right back as this match continues here on the Tennis Channel. We're back here. Unbelievable racquetball.
Time's in.
And this tiebreaker has really been a great way to finish an otherwise great match. The level of play has been great, the best we've seen all match, and the intensity has been just unbelievable.
Cliff serving 4, serving 6. What a great re-kill. The crowd loves Cliff Swain as he does not let that lead affect him. Unbelievable shot down the left side wall.
Yeah, and all set up by a very effective serve. Hit that hard cross-court serve that got jammed in the corner. Back wall opportunity. Great get.
That's an unbelievable. Jason Thorner, the referee.
Sticking it to me.
6.
I think that was a bad call. I'm not so sure it was that critical because Jack had a setup anyway, but you got to make the guy hit that shot. He called a 2 bounce on Cliff. I think Cliff was able to get his racket underneath that ball and keep it in play. Kind of a break for Jack. Let's see if he can capitalize.
6 serves 5.
See if he's going to go back to that lob down the right wall. See if he can get it tight enough to keep Cliff from cutting it off. Nope. Great shot by Jack. We've seen him hit that 3 times in this tiebreaker where Cliff was able to hit a ball that got behind Jack to his backhand, and Jack is not only able to step over and hit it, but somehow use that wrist to flick it cross court.
Jack showing exceptional hand speed. So he's done that a few times, Aaron.
Yeah, no, phenomenal shots he's hitting.
7 serves 5.
Good angle off the back wall. Set up for Jack.
Skip ball. Wow. Cliff clawing his way to a good court position.
Yeah, Cliff
and
needs.
Jack missing that shot.
Cliff really needs to take advantage of that mistake. That was a big mistake. Jack had an absolute dead setup forehand and skipped it really bad.
5 serves 7. Cliff Swain lines up to serve. Skip ball.
A tough Z serve that Cliff hit there. Got it very, very tight in the corner, and Jack was not able to pull it out.
Serving 7.
You can feel the anxiety in the room here. Everybody on the edge of their seat.
Yeah.
Such a tight 5th game tiebreaker between these 2 players. The winner going on to the finals.
That's an incredible match. Both players leaving it all on the court. Cliff trying to once again capitalize on that forehand miss by Jack at 7-5. Great get, set up for Cliff.
Oh, barely missed that. Great get by Jack Huczak. And a great answer by Cliff Swain. It's all tied up.
7-7.
7-all.
You know, we've talked an awful lot about having to block the ref calls out as you go forward. A lot of times you also got to block out your missed shots. Jack was just serving at 7-5, had an absolute forehand setup to go up 8-5, missed the setup. I think he's still thinking about that shot a little bit. Cliff, very veteran, if you remember, when he got that serve back, took a lot of time, a lot of patience, knew he had to capitalize on that miss, and he sure has, pulling back to 7-7 here.
The crowd fired up. 7 serves 7. A lot of tension inside and out of the court here. He lines up. Cliff Swain serving to Jack Huczak, 7-all.
Hold it. That's a replay.
Replay.
I think that's a good call. Ball was not totally down. Cliff had a chance to get it, and Jack didn't clear.
Let's see if Cliff can capitalize on that opportunity and get another point here and take the lead.
Ooh, left up shot.
Great shot by Cliff Swain. He takes the lead. The crowd fired up. They love Cliff Swain here.
Yeah, that's kind of a defensive shot there by Jack. Cliff hit a jam serve, hit an okay jam serve, not a great jam serve, spun Jack around. Jack had a lot of time to swing at that ball and ripped a cross-court angle way off the back wall to give Cliff a setup. I think if Jack had that back, he would have either hit it down the line or a pinch, something a little more aggressive. And there's that great cutoff there. Once again, when you've got your offensive shot and your feet are set, you want to go down the line or pinch. You want to save those cross courts for when you're a little off balance, like when he was flicking that ball from behind him. Jack has gotten a little defensive here. He needs to get back to a little more offensive mentality, and it looks like he knows that because he's going to a drive serve. Back wall setup.
Ball point.
That was a very, very tight call. I think the referee was thinking that the ball cracked, and that's why he didn't call the hinder. Boy, every point, every call, every error at this point is so magnified.
It's crucial. We're going to take a little break here. It's all tied up here at the U.S. Open. It doesn't get any tighter than this. The tension you could cut with a butter knife. We'll be right back. And we're back here. Unbelievable racquetball. It's all tied up here at 8 serves 8 in the tiebreaker.
See what serve Jack is going to hit here. Looks like he's going to go to some drive serve, either a down the line or a Z. Oh, and he goes for the cross court.
Gets it back.
Poorly executed serve. I was surprised he went for that. That's a tough serve for him to hit. He doesn't have quite enough heat. Missed the angle.
Chance now, go Cliff from the crowd.
Now, Sean, I'm going to request out of professionalism you will resist the temptation to join
Go
in.
Cliff, go. All right. I have no problem standing up on this host desk, Aaron, and start screaming at the top of my lungs. Go
All right,
Cliff
I'm going to continue to monitor your bias.
Your request was you wanted to see great racquetball. Is this not phenomenal racquetball?
This is tremendous racquetball. I am getting what I wanted. Great get there by Cliff. Set up for Jack.
Oh, wow.
Boy, that is just money. Great cross court. Stretch Cliff out, draw a weak return, and then just bury the next shot. Very textbook racquetball.
More importantly, Aaron, did I just hear the word money come out of Aaron Katz's mouth?
Yes, you did.
That is impressive. Now,
Boy,
that
great
was
cutoff.
cash money. Unbelievable how he cut that off and just smashed that down the middle of the court.
That was a tremendous shot because, once again, Jack has so little margin of error when he hits that serve. He's got to get it very tight against the glass to prevent Cliff from cutting it off.
Skip ball, huge. Cliff Swain takes another lead and 2 points away from taking this nail-biter of a tiebreaker.
That's a terrible error to make at that point in the game for Jack.
It's a tough serve, though, Aaron.
It was a tough serve, but you can't skip it. He was over there, had a full swing at the forehand, tried to go down the line, which was the right shot because Cliff was leaning the other way, but you can't skip that ball. Not at this point in the match.
Jack taking his time, putting his racket up, possibly giving some time for Cliff to think about what he's going to serve here. And rips him in the gluteus. Cliff Swain with a 9-8 lead.
9-7-8.
Unbelievable serve. Great ace to put himself in position now with a match point. Is it time for me to stand on this desk? Go, Cliff. Go, Cliff. Oh, my, Aaron.
I think that was a phenomenal serve and puts Cliff in position to close out what has been a tremendous match. We'll see if Jack takes a timeout here. I think if I was Jack, I'd take a timeout, not let Cliff get back in the box after hitting the serve without making him thinking about it. You know, when the guy gets to 10, it's kind of like the field goal kicker coming on at the end of the game. You want to ice him a little bit rather than letting him get back in the box and free swing.
Cliff Swain in position to take the match. And there's the timeout. Coach Aaron Katz, you are proven right. Unbelievable stuff. Great racquetball. We're going to be right back to see what happens here in the 5th game with Jack Huczak and Cliff Swain. And we're back. Truly remarkable racquetball up to this point. Both players playing with extreme passion. They both want this. And Cliff Swain, the legend, the champion, finds himself in position to take this match and move into the final.
Very interesting psychological dynamic we saw there, Sean. Jack called the timeout. He left the court. Cliff stayed on the court during the whole timeout to stay focused. I think he's going to come back with a crack serve here. Great get. Back wall setup.
Jack
Nice.
Huczak.
That's just great mental poise to have that presence to be able to hit a soft pin shot like that at such a critical point where if you skip it, the match is over. Now he really needs a serve. Jack has lost his way with a serve his last couple of times in the box. He looks like he's going to go back to that lob nick, see if he can prevent Cliff from cutting it off.
8-10 now.
That's not a good serve.
That's a replay.
Cliff really reaching
Yeah.
for the ball and also reaching for a call.
Yeah.
You certainly cannot ask for an avoidable hinder. That is not an offensive opportunity.
You can ask.
Yeah, that's true.
You should not reasonably expect. That was.
I'd probably ask as well at this point in the match.
That was a terrible serve. Jack really got away with one there. Good serve, forces Cliff to the ceiling. Great ceiling ball. Unbelievable get by Cliff and a very, very impressive shot that Jack hit off the back wall. Cliff hit a very good ceiling ball that barely came off the back wall.
Every serve, every shot, crucial at this point in the match. Jack serving.
A bit of a setup. Great flick get.
Wow. Cliff Swain has another opportunity.
Serving 9.
Once again, Cliff was able to put immediate pressure on Jack, take control of the rally off the serve.
10 serves, 9 here. Let's watch.
I think
Cliff
he's gonna stick with that Z serve that he's been hitting. We'll see if Jack's able to go cut it off.
Here it comes.
Great angle by Jack. Good get by Cliff, set up for Jack.
And he buries it in the right corner.
Just a great shot.
Jack Huczak showing great composure.
I'm surprised Cliff didn't step in front of that shot. You don't have to give your opponent that opposite corner. Cliff could have taken that one on the calf and taken that shot away. I'm surprised he let Jack shoot that ball because that was clearly what Jack was setting up for.
9-10.
There's that high arcing lob. Keeps Cliff off it. Good ceiling ball coming off the back wall. No.
Unbelievable. That is a low percentage shot at this point in the match to shoot that from ear high, Aaron Katz. Oh my.
Unbelievable. Not only is it a great shot, Jack, I don't think thought he was going to go for it because he left it up a little bit and Jack couldn't cover it.
Serving 9.
Cliff lines up to serve again for the match.
Great get by Cliff. Oh, just an unbelievable angle. What poise Jack is showing. I mean, to have once again, the control to step up, cut that ball off in the air, and hit a phenomenal passing shot. He saw Cliff was going to the back wall, very high percentage, stayed up in the front of the court and cut it off in the air, and he's got another chance here to send it into overtime.
9-10.
Unbelievable serve. Set up off.
Look at that angle.
Good get, back wall set up.
Wow! Again, he surprises me. I mean, is there such thing as taking risks? Cliff Swain has taken some incredible shots. Both players just really impressive right now.
Yeah, this is very high quality stuff. I think Jack may regret that backhand that he hit very high there and just punched it down the line. It was kind of a defensive shot given the importance of that rally.
For the match! Cliff Swain goes to the finals. The crowd on their feet.
Unbelievable match. Absolutely unbelievable.
Cliff Swain. So happy to be sitting here, Aaron, to see this man in front of this crowd a classic match between youth and experience.
Just an unbelievable match.
Cliff Swain comes out on top and advances to the finals. You do not want to miss Cliff Swain in the finals, as this was our 5th show in a series of 9. Stay tuned as we cover the 2004 Choice Hotels US Open Racquetball Championships. Thank you for watching.